All right, in this video, we're gonna see a chilling warning about, creeping authoritarianism. The warning, goes far beyond crooked maps and connects directly to Donald Trump, who wants his military to look a little more like Hitler's. Let's watch the full clip and then I'll give you my thoughts at the end.
Welcome, Texas Patriots. We gather today to fight the Trump takeover, to say, hell no, we're not going to let you in next year by your fixing the election with crooked maps this year. Forcefully calling out Trump's tyranny every time, every day, every time he does something is the start, but it's not the end. We've got to do much more. We need to bring to fight to Trump and his minions. Where he insists that we surrender, we fight. Where he assumes he's won, we fight. Here he is demanding 5 more seats. 5 more seats from Texas. That's not some inside game. That's 5 more seats to deny 15 million Americans access to a doctor. It's so he can add even more restrictions to the right of a woman to make her own choices. It's 5 more votes so he can keep his Trump tariff taxes driving prices up and up. He wants them high, but the focus on any mention of the Epstein sex tapes real low. So he wants to be able to have 5 more to say no congressional subpoenas. In fact, he wants 5 more to say he can do whatever he damn well pleases. And we say no. And I say to you today, if despite our steadfast opposition, his redistricting bill is signed into law next week, as some think it will, the question is, what do we do then besides boo? And I would say to you that each of the districts that he has designed very carefully were set up to elect a Trump minion who will prevail by the same margin that he prevailed in each of these districts, some 10% last year. But I want to say to you about that 10%, that next year he's not going to be on the ballot to draw the MAGA vote. And in the redrawn district that is nearest the one where we're standing right now, Hispanics have a strong majority, and Biden got 49% against Trump. Is there anyone here who believes that we ought to abandon that or any of these other redrawn districts and surrender them to Trump? Do you think that a dynamic nominee and a united effort by all of us can beat Trump at his own game? It is so very encouraging to see so many young patriots here today. You know, they're the folks that are going to have to live the longest with the effects of this sorry Trump policies. And as happy as we are to see them engaged, I don't believe there's anyone here that thinks Bernie Sanders, who was approaching 84, is not needed to give his experience voice, to spread the message that our working families deserve better, and our top 10%, our top 1% for sure, deserve to pay their fair share of taxes. And while I want every young person, every young leader we can get, I'm glad that one of the patriots you're about to hear from today is a woman named Dolores Huelcha. And it's so good to see these farm worker flags. Dolores is the one who created Si Se Puede, and Si Se Puede is what we can do. You're going to hear from her, even though she has some 95 courageous years to her life. She's still fighting injustice. The only way that we will stop Trump's fascist authoritarianism is to benefit from the contributions of every generation, from the youngest to the very oldest. Everyone united, not fighting one another, but fighting together the threat to our freedoms. And I've been so pleased to see right here up front these Ukrainian flags. Because we know we got a president whose middle name is appeasement when it comes to Putin. Next Saturday, same place at noon, we'll be celebrating Ukrainian Independence Day right here, and I hope some of you will come. You know, our democracy will not be lost in a flash. It begins ebbing away, step by outrageous step. Already Trump, who says he wants his military to look a little more like Hitler's. He sent our military in against the wishes of mayors and governors to Los Angeles, to the District of Columbia, and says he's looking at other cities. The reason he's sending our military in, totally unjustified, is not because of crime or immigrants, but it's because he envisions a day when he will use that military against us. And while his Gestapo-like tactics, Trump's masked agents out there grabbing students off the streets for no good reasons, he's not doing that because of one or two students. He's doing it because he wants the power to grab any of us one day. We don't need the National Guard on our streets. We need national guardrails on a lawless president. This is a truly defining moment for American democracy. Will we approach 250 years of true democracy or not? Can we stop him by uniting ourselves and not dividing? We cannot remain the land of the free on our 250th anniversary unless we are all truly the home of the brave. That's what's at stake in our response to this redistricting attempt to fix the elections, and why we must unite to fight him, not one another. So today, with hope, with inspiration from this gathering, with love in our hearts for our neighbors who we must win over and get engaged, I believe we can build to a more just America with opportunities for all. That's what we seek, and together we shall overcome. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I guess at this point, there's just no subtlety here, is there? No attempt to hide the ball. It's just a raw, undisguised power grab announced out in the open as if it's the most normal thing in the world to simply predetermine the outcome of an election. You know, Congressman Lloyd Doggett is also sounding the alarm on this rigged redistricting bill that has like Trump's fingerprints all over it. This goes beyond inside baseball political drama. It's a direct response to what he calls the, what was the phrase, Trump takeover, an attempt to rig the system before a single vote is even cast for the next cycle. I swear these guys are a bunch of criminals. Doggett lays out the central claim with perfect clarity. Trump is demanding, he's not asking for 5 more seats from Texas. And how does he plan to get them? By fixing the election with crooked maps this year, right? So the goal is to install what Doggett calls a Trump minion in each of those districts, making the actual voting process a mere formality. It's absolutely staggering to hear it said so plainly. And the real world consequences of those 5 seats are immense, affecting far more than which party controls a few committees. Doggett spells it out. It's 5 more seats to deny 15 million Americans access to a doctor. It's 5 more votes to attack a woman's right to choose. It's 5 more votes to ensure there are no more congressional subpoenas, allowing the president to do whatever he damn well pleases. This is about dismantling checks and balances, kind of piece by piece. You just have to marvel at the contradiction. I mean, this entire political movement is built on a supposed populist foundation, a claim to be fighting for the forgotten man and woman. Yet, here is a clear, calculated strategy to ensure that the voices of actual voters in these districts are silenced. It's a direct admission that basically they can't win on the merits, so they have to rig the game board itself. He's also incredibly specific about who gets hurt, moving past abstract threats to our democracy. The immediate victims are, the millions of people who rely on access to healthcare. It's women whose bodily autonomy is on the line. It's the working families who will continue to pay the price for Trump tariff taxes that drive up prices while the wealthiest get a pass. This has real victims. I mean, it really does. And for anyone who might try to hand wave this away as just, Typical cynical politics, Doggett connects the dots to something far more sinister. He explicitly links this legislative maneuver to Trump's broader authoritarian vision. He brings up Trump's desire for a military that looks a little more like Hitler's and his use of Gestapo-like tactics on American streets. This redistricting serves as a foundational piece of a much darker project. The most important part of this speech is its power as a call to arms, rejecting any notion of a eulogy for democracy. Even if the bill is signed into law, Doggett argues the fight continues. He points to a redrawn district where, Biden got 49% and asks if we should just surrender it. The strategy is to meet them on the ground they think they've already won and beat them with a dynamic nominee and a united effort. This redistricting bill is, I guess what I'm trying to say is a deliberate, calculated effort to permanently install minority rule by making elections functionally irrelevant. The final message here is that the real work begins now, demanding unity over demoralization and division and things like that. As Doggett says, stopping this fascist authoritarianism requires a united front of every generation from the youngest to the very oldest, all fighting together. The threat is real, but so is the power of collective action. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. While you're down there, hit the like button and subscribe. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.